Hi, it's Doug here from Team Bespoke Disc Golf. I have a disc review to do for you today. Bespoke have given me five discs to test out, purely to see if these are good beginner discs. And I think these will all be available through the Bespoke Disc Golf shop, online or retail. You can just walk in and see them. And I think they will be bundled into beginner starter sets as well. So what are we playing with today? Right, these are all Lightning discs. I don't know much about Lightning discs, but we have the retooled number one driver. Flight numbers are 74-22. There's a lot going on here. This is the Shore Grip plastic. So this looks like a fairly neutral fairway driver. We'll see how that goes. I don't know what Shore Grip plastic is. Our second disc here is the first run, number 2 retooled Hookshot. Flight numbers 65-12 in the Warbird plastic. Our third disc is an Upshot disc. Looks like a putt and approach disc. It's the number 2 Upshot in Warbird blend plastic. I'm not sure what the flight numbers are, but I'll just pop them on the screen below once I work that out. And our last disc is the rubber putter AT6 from Lightning Discs, Shore Grip plastic. Flight numbers 230-0.5. So this looks like a bit like an AVR. This is a very deep putter. It feels really deep in the hand. I can't remember holding a putter like this. We also have, for kicks, a Turbo Putt. Bespoke have given me one of these to play with. These aren't PDGA legal, but I'm going to show you just how bad my Turbo Putt is. And these are all going to be available through the Bespoke Disc Golf shop. So how do these discs feel? Well, they feel a little chalky. I've got a glove on, but they feel a bit like Innova Pro plastic, maybe. The Shore Grip feels a little firmer, a little stiffer than the Warbird plastic. The Warbird plastic feels almost like, I don't know, DX plastic. So these aren't premium plastics. So we'll just see how they go. So this is purely to see if these are good beginner discs, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. We're going to play 9 holes at Bald Hill. We'll go down to the red tee. We'll start on hole 5 because that's closest to my house, and we'll see how we go. Know nothing about them. Let's have fun. All right, we're starting on hole 5. This is my first hole. It's a 194-meter par 5. I usually just try and get it as close to that right-hand corner of foliage as I can. I'm going to throw the number 1 driver, which I'm expecting to be pretty straight. Okay, that turned a lot, but it didn't fade, so I've kind of turned over into the right-hand bushes. Okay, I'm in trouble already. I've got a pretty tight shot to get around here. This turned a lot more than I was expecting it to, but that's the fun of reviewing a disc. One thing I didn't say is I don't think disc reviews are very useful if you don't know the context of who's throwing them. So I'm a 59-year-old disc golfer. I'm around 880 PDGA rated. I throw about 90 to 100 meters with shrikes. I try and throw smooth rather than just ripping the crap out of anything, because I very much am an older disc golfer, so I'm just trying to be careful with my body. I sort of approach disc golf that every throw could be my last. So yeah, so I'm a 90 to 100 meter thrower, and my arm speed's probably about a 10. So anyway, I'm going to try a sidearm here. Anything could happen with the number 2 Hookshot. I'm hoping it hooks. I have no idea where to aim this, so I have to throw it. Okay. So that is a lot more overstable than the number 1 driver. Number 2 Upshot. Right, hole 6, 65-meter par 3 through this tunnel. That's a lot friendlier than it used to be. Given I've thrown this once, I'm going to try and hyzer flip this up and hope it just rides straight down to the basket. So I'll just try and keep this low on a hyzer flip. so much for low. So about 40 metres, 30 metres out, I'm going to use the number 2 Upshot. Okay, I put a little power on that and it just went dead straight. The rubber putter. I want one. Hole 7, 66 metre par 3. It's usually a sidearm. I'm not trying to throw as many sidearms at the moment because I've got a few knee issues down here. But I'll try it just for this video. I'm going to try a sidearm with the number 2 Hookshot. Feels nice and flat and good for sidearm. Right, hole 8 at Bald Hill. This is an 85 metre par 3. The basket's about level with the tee pad, but you've got to go down a gully and up the gully. I find this a great hole to test discs on because you get a full flight of the hole. You get a full flight of the disc as you throw it. So I'm going to try the number 1 fairway driver. Slight tailwind. I might just throw it on a little hyzer and hope it just stands up a bit. Still trying to get the grips with the understability of this one. Okay, that went about 80-85 metres. And deep sea too. I'm just going to have a nice floaty rubber putter bid. Just hang it up out to the right and see if it just comes back in. Hole 9, 89 metre par 3, pretty much straight. You've got to miss this tree, which has been hit about 2 million times, and this stuff on the right. I will try and hyzer flip the number 1 driver, just try and get it out there flat and smooth, and hopefully it will go straight and not turn right. That's okay. All right, 5 holes in, 5 pars. There's a little bit of traffic ahead of us, so I'll just have a quick initial impressions after 5 holes. These putt and approach discs are fine. They actually seem to fly pretty similar to each other. This maybe is a little bit more glidey than this one, but if you want a putter, either is fine. This is a deep putter for bigger hands. This is a shallow putter. Both fairly neutral, just totally fine, good grip. I actually quite like them. I don't want to throw them too much or I'll just get confused. The number 2 Hookshot, a lot more overstable than I was expecting. Feels board flat, almost puddle topped. Really nice for forehands. So if you're a beginner who is forehand dominant, this would be a really good disc. Quite overstable. I haven't turned it yet, but I'm still learning it. Quite impressed. I'd be interested to see, because this is in what feels like base plastic, what it actually beats into. It might beat into a really nice neutral fairway driver, but very overstable at the moment. And this feels like a beaten in Roadrunner or Sidewinder. Turns a lot, doesn't really come back for me, but I'm not throwing it that well. I've tried a few hyzer flips and I'm just throwing them straight up, so I'm not giving it the best chance, but we'll keep working with it and we'll see what happens. Okay, our 6th hole, which is actually the first hole at Bald Hill, 59 metre par 3, dead straight, just straight at it. I'm going to throw all 5 discs here, and we'll just see how they all fly. I don't know if I can get the putter there. I don't know, it's quite glidey. This actually feels like an end of a whale, almost. Someone has mentioned that to me. Very, very deep. I can't think of another putter that I've actually held that is this deep. Very weird. Yeah, but we'll throw all 5 and we'll take the worst one. Actually, I'll exclude this one because I have no idea what it's going to do. Oh. For some reason I thought that was overstable. Number 1 fairway driver. Halfway there. The hook shot. Yank. I can tell you right now, that's the most reliable disc. You know what that one's going to do. The Upshot. Ah. Okay, very flippy with power. And the rubber putter. Ah. Alright, so any power on these discs apart from the upshot, the hook shot, they flip. Alright, we agreed this was my worst shot, so right, hole 2, 98 metre par 3. Usually too long for me. I'm starting to get birdie looks if I throw my drive right, but it won't happen today. Basically, I want to throw this, but I've got a horrible feeling it's going to turn into the bushes on the right. So I don't really want to do that to it. But this feels like it's a cop-out. It's just going to hyzer and finish roughly in the middle, about 30 metres out. So I don't know what to do. Maybe I'll throw both and take the worst. Really is overstable. Finally, I got it right. Worked out how to hyzer flip it. I'm going to throw the number 2 upshot. I usually throw Berg X's and things like that here, so this is a little bit more neutral, I suspect. So I'll just try and pop it on a little hyzer and throw it over the top. Right, hole 3, 108 metre par 4, quite friendly. I'm going to try and hyzer flip the number 1 driver through the gap, pump up an upshot and take a birdie. I need it. Little bit of headwind. There's a little bit of headwind coming through here, so I just threw the number 1 driver and that just flipped right over it. It almost feels like an Underworld by Westside Discs. So a great disc for a raw beginner who doesn't have much arm speed. I think the number 1 driver would be very beneficial. I'm going to try the hook shot just as a longer approach disc. Feels a bit more reliable. Might just throw the other 2 just for data. Okay, so they've all landed pretty much next to each other, so The other two discs, they're a lot more neutral or understable, so now that I know, you have to aim them a little bit more left and let them just turn in gently. Almost feels like a beat-in proxy, those two putters. Those two putters are perfectly fine. I could use them. Right, fourth hole, but this is our ninth hole, 60-metre par 3, downhill. Nice fading open gap to the right. I'm going to throw the hook shot. Bit of a headwind here, so the hook shot should just, if I pump it out quite a long way to the right, what I've learnt, it should just dump in and be hopefully close to the basket. Alright, thank you for watching my review of these 5 discs. I'll just give you some final thoughts. I want to thank Bespoke Disc Golf for lending them to me and let me having a throw with them. I'm pretty stuck with my disc bag at the moment, so throwing new discs is always a little odd. I think I had an even round. I had 1 bogey, 1 birdie and a whole lot of pars. Thoughts on these discs. The number 2 Upshot, a very neutral, slightly understable if thrown with power, putt and approach disc. I actually don't mind the feel of it at all. It's quite flat. The plastic feels a little chalky. It's starting to look a little beaten up already. Maybe not. No, it's held up pretty well. But perfectly serviceable. You can use it as a putter if you like a slightly shallower putter. And yeah, just a nice neutral disc. This surprised me. I didn't really think I'd like the feel of it in my hand, but it's perfectly fine to putt with. Good grip, good spin. Nice glidey, understable flight. I would probably put this as a 2-3, maybe 2-4, 2-5. It glides actually. -1, 0. It doesn't really fade back at all. It's just an understable putt and approach. Feels nice. Quite like it. This is probably, if I was going to bag a disc, this would be the one I would bag. The number 2 Hookshot. Just felt very reliable, very dependable. Just a nice overstable sort of fairway driver. Feels very flat, board flat, lovely to sidearm. The overstability of it surprised me a little, caught me out. I ended up a little short on the last hole. Yeah, it's a dumper. So I would actually put this as more a 6.503 rather than a 6.5 -1.2, but it's base plastic, so maybe it will beat in. But good disc, really good disc. And this one, took me about 5 holes to get a handle on it. This is very understable. Feels like a maul from latitude 64 or an underworld. Feels flatter than those 2 discs. Very flippy. So great hyzer flip disc and a great driver, a great first driver for a beginner. So yeah, once you get a handle on it, I'm probably a little bit too powerful for it to be useful for me, but for a beginner, yeah, worthwhile having a look at this disc. It feels very comfortable in the hand too. And the Turbo Putt, well, I can't Turbo Putt. I gave it a couple of goes. They probably won't make the final cut, but yeah, novelty disc. Yeah, if you like cult discs, this is one of the funky ones around. Not PDGA legal, but you can get them from Bespoke. So get into Bespoke, 113 Highbury Road, Burwood, or just order them online. And yeah, they're all available. See you later.